Welcome everybody to part 2 of today's episode. We are here. We have been, I think, 6 days since the Kings Lynn game. We are now 3 games without a win, 2 defeats and a draw after our 8-game winning run. So we are back to some rough form. We are in 10th place. Really, we have to beat Bromley here. There's no two ways about it. If we don't win this game against Bromley, I think we have to concede defeat in our race for the playoffs this season. Bromley are 3rd in the table. If we take a look at their form, to be honest, none of the teams at the top have really been running away with it. But Bromley, you can see, have had a really good run. Although in their last 4, they've only won once. So it is not going to be an easy game, but we are at home. I think we can do it. Before we get into today's game, I want to just show you, I've already started making signings for next season and I'm really excited about these guys that I've got coming in. If the transfer area key wants to load up, there we go. So let's have a look. So we've got David Tutonda. He is a 31-year-old left back. He is in with us on trial because he was without a club, so he's signed for next season and he's currently on trial. Now, as a defensive fullback, he's not that great, but as an attacking fullback, he's really good mentally. I mean, look at that. He's got nothing below an 8 on his mentals. 9s and 10s, a couple of 12s. 12 flair for a fullback. He should be in the Nationwide League. He should be a really creative attacking fullback. Look, he's got a brilliant first touch, great cross. He was actually, when he came in on trial with us, he had 13 crossing. And as is the case with players that train with us, he's already lost a crossing point and he's not even signed permanently yet. Physically, superb athlete, 12 pace, 13 acceleration, 13 agility. I think as an attacking fullback, I can't imagine there's going to be many better in the Nationwide League. If we compare him to, where is he? Lewis Buttroyd, who is obviously in on loan from Gloucester. You can see Buttroyd is the better defender. There's no two ways about that. But overall, I think Tutonda is a better player. And for a team that likes to play possession like we do, absolutely fantastic. I mean, they've got the same technical ratings, the same mental ratings, and Tutonda is just a much, much better athlete. So I'm really excited about having Tutonda in. I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic as an attacking threat. Expect us to get lots of assists from David Tutonda next season. So I'm really, really excited to have him in. He has been playing for Gillingham in League 2 for the past few years, and he's also played a lot of games in League 1. So that kind of tells you the level that he is at. So I think there's no doubt about it. We are going to have one of the best left backs in the division next season. I want to come back to James Sheringham. First, I want to show you Fran Hodgin. I'm going to say Hodgin. Fran Hodgin is an attacking midfielder who can also play as a left winger or as a striker. Now, with his 8 finishing, I don't think he's really going to be a striker, but I'm looking at him as maybe, in terms of being a forward, as a pressing forward maybe, half decent teamwork, really good athlete, great stamina, great natural fitness. But then with his 12 passing, 11 dribbling, 10 first touch, I think he can just be a really, really good attacking midfielder or pressing forward. So I think at 18 years old, I think we've got another really good prospect. He's being released by Liverpool, look. I think this season I'm seeing a quality of player release that harks back to James Price when we got him from Chelsea, or Kalen Hazeman that we got from Tottenham, who of course I would love to still have in the team. And speaking of Kalen Hazeman, well, now we come to James Sheringham. I think this is the best player I've managed to get hold of since Kalen Hazeman. James Sheringham is being released also by Liverpool. Now, technically, he might not look much as a central midfielder, but with that 13 tackling, I think you look at his mental stats and his physical stats, the attributes that he has got. I mean, he is just an incredible athlete. With 15 teamwork, 17 determination, 13 concentration, 13 bravery, 12 anticipation. I think he's just an ideal defensive midfielder. And if we compare him to Sam Cornish, who has obviously been playing defensive midfielder, James Sheringham is better technically, better mentally, and 5 points better physically. This guy is incredible. And to be honest, I can't believe I've got him. He is coming to us. I think we're paying him £575 a week, which is not cheap. But he had Premier League teams and Championship teams that were sniffing around him. And I just got in before everybody else. Nobody else offered him a contract. I think he's going to be incredible for us in the Vanarama National League. So James Sheringham coming in, I think, is a real game changer. I'm so excited about these 3 transfers. Outside of that, I mentioned in part 1, where a few players have left us. Ryan Crosdale went to Hungerford, who of course beat us in the FA Trophy. They are now 5th in the Vanarama National League South, so they may not even get promoted. But he's a very good signing for them. It was great to get his wages off the books. Cameron Gallagher-Allison went to Dover on loan. He's played a few games, done okay. I don't think he's really good enough for us anymore, but he could be a squad player next season. So his wages are off the books, as are Jay Williams' wages, who is at Chelmsford there in the Vanarama National League South. So he's only played 1 game, so that kind of shows you how much he's dropped off and what his level is now. Disappointing, a shame for him, our longest serving player right now. But everything comes to an end, doesn't it? So I'm actually pleased to have got this amount of players out and get those wages off the books during the season, which has allowed us to bring these players in and make these transfers for next season. So really pleased with that. I've also got a whole bunch of players on trial at the moment. I did have a very good right back that I wanted to sign, but he wanted nearly £600 a week. I wasn't willing to go to that. So, but we've got players here such as Greg Boone, for example, who looks a really, really good right back, doesn't he? He looks superb. I mean, if I offer him at the moment, I mean, he wants to come in, look, 725 a week. I can only go to 600, and I don't know if I would want to spend 600 a week on a right back. But we've got a number of players here who look pretty interesting. All these guys in on trial. Jack Evans is another one that I would really like to sign. Again, look, he looks a fantastic winger, really good athlete, 14 pace, 15 to 18 agility. 16 off the ball. He can pass, he can cross, he can dribble, he can head. He can also play as a striker, although he's only got 6 finishing. So I don't see him as a striker, but he can head at 6'1". He's being released by Manchester United, and if I offer him a contract, he also wants 625. So 725 rather. So I'm not going to do it, but I'll see if when they get released, if no one else is interested, if maybe they drop the demand. So a lot going on, and I'm probably going to have to form a whole new defence for next season. Isaac Smith, he has already confirmed he wants to leave. He's got Football League clubs interested in him, including Northampton. Scott Wilson is leaving Walsall, but he's got Grimsby interested in him, so it might be difficult to get hold of him. And Lewis Butdroyd, who I would love to make permanent, is wanted by Cambridge United, so very unlikely that we're going to get any of them. Ozonwafo is wanted by Bolton. I've got to decide if I offer him another contract. I mean, he's lost crossing, dribbling and passing ability through the training as the season's gone on, and he's been a bit hit and miss. He's got 4 goals and 9 assists, which is excellent, but only a 6.96 rating, because when he's not on it, he really is poor. So there's there you go, I've gone all the way back to the start. There's a few question marks over the team for next season. I tell you what, I'm actually going to go back there, because I also want to show you, I've just offered a contract to Magasuba. He is on a non-contract. Anybody could offer him a contract, a deal for next season. As a left back, he's not that brilliant, 6 marking and 6 tackling. But if he did have 10 crossing when he came to us. I think he might have had 10 dribbling as well. If he can recover those technical points as some more construction work starts, if he can recover those points, he could be a great attacking winger. And right now, he has got Middlesbrough and Preston interested in him. So I've offered him a contract on a part-time basis. I really hope he signs, because again, I think not only does he have all that potential, but he's also got big clubs interested in him, and we could probably get a good payday from it. So I apologise. I think the microphone now is definitely going to pick up that construction noise from next door, because it is going on right behind my window, and the microphone is directed that way. So that's going to be really annoying. So unprofessional. The team for today against Bromley, we're going with Sam Blair in goal. Gibbons goes at right back because we are without Josh Staunton. He is suspended for today's game, which is really unfortunate. Gibbons comes in at right back with the fact that we've got an injury to McAvoy, of course, out for the season. Isaac Smith and Scott Wilson are going to be the central defensive partnership, with Butchroyd on the left, Cornish and Butcher. Liam Gibbs comes back in at number 10, Azonwafor Lloyd and James Price up front. On the bench, Gabadebo defensive option, Gary Roberts, Max Sheaf, Thomas Hughes and Joe Hardy. Let's get into this and let's see what we can come up with against Bromley. We really need a win. I think we are done and dusted in terms of the playoffs if we don't win here. There are just too many teams going for playoffs who are on good form at the moment. We've done well to catch up and be in this situation with that 8-game winning run. But yeah, if we let the points go today, I think it's all over. Let's have a look. So before I give the team talk, just set up marking duties. Obviously, Lloyd, as we know, goes out to mark the left back when we don't have the ball, and I am going to have to drop Cornish back again as they play with a number 10. So we'll get Cornish in there, and he gives us a little bit more defensive solidity on that right hand side where we don't have a winger, and Gibbs is going to drop back and mark Sabide in the midfield. Smith is going to mark the striker. Let's get him marking tight on Luke Armstrong. And Azonwafor is going to mark their right back. So our traditional marking setup. Right, come on. Okay, come on, put on a show. I think we've shown with that winning run that we are good enough to do this. But we are now 3 without a win. It's a real question mark. And we're televised. So I'm going to send my assistant to do the media duties, but there you go. So we're 3 without a win. They will probably fancy their chances coming into this, but of course they are just, was it 1 win in 5? Was it 1 win in 4, 2 in 5, 1 in 4? So neither team is, I mean, there's barely anybody in the stadium. We've really struggled to put bums on seats this season. It seems like no away fans turn up anymore either. Hopefully we can put on a show for the fans that are there. Let's have a good performance here. Let's turn this around. I can't help thinking our poor form coincides with George Ray getting upset and asking to leave the club. I think he just has a real influence on the changing room. But we've got to put that aside as they get the first highlight of the game. Can we deal with this? Over the top. And what on earth has just happened with Isaac Smith? He made the mistake that gave the ball away, or gave the final chance in the last game, and it was actually Wood from midfield who makes the run, just bursting through there. And was it Gibbs that should have been marking him? Was it Gibbs on Wood, or was it Cornish? That is absolutely abysmal. Let's demand more from the players. Let's see if we can get into this. We have the possession. We've had as many shots. They now get another highlight. And our season, oh my goodness, Armstrong in, saved by Blair. And our season is unravelling in front of our eyes. We did so well to get into this situation. Let's go attacking here. And they get another highlight. Half an hour in, all of the highlights have gone in their favour, despite the stats suggesting this is an even game. And they are looking pretty good here, aren't they? Bromley looking confident, really taking us apart at the moment. Can we win this in the air? We can. Can this now turn into a highlight for us? Blair from the back out to Buttroyd. Zonwafor needs a better game today, and he finds James Price. And Price, what a finish for his 19th of the season, just dinking it over. That is a wonderful finish, and it's 1-1 with our first attacking highlight of the game. Zonwafor with the assist. I think is that his 10th assist of the season. Lovely dinked finish. Price really just growing into his role as a Vanarama National League leading striker now. Let's encourage the players here. Let's see if we can get another before half time maybe. It has been a good performance. We are going one-on-one with the league's third place team. Poor throw from Gibbons, and they are away. We win it in the air and it comes back to Cornish. Wilson, Buttroyd. Can Zonwafor get across him from here? Trying to earn himself a new contract. He gets a great cross in, and Lloyd, he was going backwards on the header, wasn't he? Maybe he should have done a little bit better with it. And we've got a highlight right at the end, and Gibbs is going to be sent off. Liam Gibbs. Oh. And I'm taken back to Liam Gibbs being sent off in the final game of last season when we also needed to win. What am I going to do with this? I think I'm going to go without wingers. I'm going to take off Zonwafor. And Max Sheaf, who hasn't played much lately, I'm going to bring him in here. So Max Sheaf is going to be a central midfielder on support. And I'm going to make Price now the player that goes out with their right back. Oh, what on earth do I do here? I think I can see our season finishing right here against Bromley. Was it Bromley last season as well that Gibbs was sent off against? Right, I think we need to go a little bit more direct, shoot on sight for sure. I'm not going to run at their defence. I'm going to play, let's have a look. Distribute to the target men as we're playing with two men up front still. Just take back the line of engagement, and I'm going to go narrow defensively. And let's see if with home advantage we can keep ourselves competitive. But it is going to be really, really tough. First things first, let's tell them they're doing really well. And then let's just attack Liam Gibbs. Where on earth are you, Liam Gibbs? I'm going to throw a water bottle at him. He's demotivated. I don't care. Let's see if the boys can pull out some sort of miracle here against the third place team in the league, one of the form teams prior to their last couple of games. And can they pull out an unlikely victory against the odds here? Buttroyd does really well to intercept there. Price helps us keep it. And we now go long from Blair, and that is an awful kick. And they're in with Armstrong, and it's 2-1. Was he onside? He was. Oh, man. And that is really soft. Should I have played a lower defensive line? That is really, really irritating. Now they get a free kick and they are in firm control. Can we deal with this? Goes out to the edge of the box. I mean, we're well placed to defend it. Into Armstrong, comes back to Blair. Can we get away on a counter-attack here? We can't. Just went all the way over everybody. Gibbons can't win it in the air there. And now, oh my goodness, Gibbons just leaves Ahmed completely free. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to look at the replays. I'm fuming with Liam Gibbs. Incredible. Can we at least salvage some pride here? I think this is season over. We've got 4 games left after this. I think even winning those 4 games, as George Lloyd can't finish that chance. Even winning those last 4 games, I don't think is going to be enough to get us into the playoffs. What a disappointment. What a huge disappointment. What a shame. And now Cornish is going to be sent off as well. As he know, he's only given a penalty away. I want to cry. I really want to cry. We were absolutely in this game. We were well in this game. Let's make some changes here. I'm going to give Price a rest. He's been needing a rest for a while. And with this game having completely gone, we'll bring Joe Hardy in. And I think what I will do, I think Sam Cornish has also been needing a rest. Let's bring in Gary Roberts there and we'll move Butcher back. And I'm just going to ask Lloyd to be a deep line forward on support, just so he drops back a little bit to receive the ball. Can maybe give us a little outlet there, but I mean, we know the game has gone. I'm going to berate the players anyway. I mean, they've fallen apart, even if we are with 10 men against a strong team. We have completely fallen apart in this second half. Big disappointment. They've now got their fullbacks pushed all the way on. They've gone full out attack, haven't they? They've played it well. We haven't been able to manage the game. Gibbons at right back has looked really below par. I'll be looking to move him on in the summer for sure. And really, the pride we were looking for has not really turned up, has it? As Roberts gets his second goal of the season, a really beautiful strike from range. It's not going to matter now. Roberts combining nicely with Joe Hardy there, who hasn't had much of a run in the team since he was actually left out to be rested and he never got back into the team, but he's come on and done okay there. Gets it again. Roberts now loses the ball. And Armstrong gets Brown in for them, pushed wide. We managed to defend that one, but it's still not away. And it's another. Zach Brown, he's offside fortunately. Zach Brown scores a lot of goals against us. He barely scores the rest of the season, but every time he plays us, he's fantastic. And we've actually had more shots than them. It's really just been the defensive side of things that we have collapsed with the 10 men today. But if you look at our shooting stats, we've actually done pretty well, as George Lloyd, who's now on a little bit of a goal drought, forces a save. Sheaf has not done well in the midfield. And they now get another break. Roberts, well done Roberts. The substitute doing well there. You can see we've had more shots at goal than they have. But we just obviously haven't done anything with it. Let's one last shout of demand more. Can we maybe get another back here and make it a nervy end for them? Headed away. Can we get something on the break? George Lloyd will be looking for a long ball for Price maybe. He can't. Gibbons into Butcher. Butcher into Roberts. To Sheaf. Into Hardy. And Hardy has missed an absolute sitter one-on-one with the keeper. And we have got a late penalty which Joe Hardy is going to take. This would be interesting, wouldn't it? The question is, if he scores it, do I go very attacking? Because we've been playing and he doesn't score it. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. You could not script that, could you? Apparently we played really well, even with 10 men. And it's another defeat. Well, we'll leave it there. We are probably out of the playoffs with that, but if it comes to the last game of the season and there is still a chance, well, there may be a final episode of the league season. If not, the next episode will be the end of season review. So I'm going to leave it there, and let's hope there is a final episode before the end of season review. But it looks pretty difficult now, doesn't it? I would say if you've enjoyed this, drop a like on it, but I don't think it was really enjoyable, was it? We've lost 2 games this episode at the end of the day. Let's hope there's a final episode for this season. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.